The story of technical remote viewing begins in the military. Some highly placed generals did something very unconventional.
Imagine being able to have a tool that takes you outside of time and space.
To take something that was developed in the secret confines of military intel and usher it out into the private sector in order to guard the technology from being lost.
You're accessing this book of unlimited knowledge. We are literally breaking all the rules of physics.
When you have a tool like this, you find that you can explore things like angels and channeling entities and the unexplained, and you can find answers. The obvious one is, well, the afterlife. Is there one? We started to look at person by person what happened when people pass over, people from all walks of life, famous ones, historical figures, saints, Hitler. And we did find across the board, at least all the ones we looked at, the same thing happened. It was always the same.
Each member of the team focused on targets that were unknown to them. Again, all they were given was a random set of 8 numbers. Working by themselves, they collected data that had no apparent meaning. Different colors, textures, objects, dimensions, even emotions were recorded and organized. It wasn't until the analysis phase of each session that their work began to make sense. After many hours of exhaustive effort, their sessions revealed specific types of data. The complex jigsaw puzzle was slowly pieced together, and the team became witness to an amazing series of events. As the drama unfolded in front of them, the realization of what they had discovered inspired awe and reverence.
When I'm talking about certain events that we looked at, I'm being very careful not to make assumptions. It's very important to maintain a skeptical, objective eye on all of the data that you're collecting. Because we're dealing with something that is so far out of our thesaurus and our template of living that we realize that we're using our own limited interpretation to try to define something that is almost beyond our comprehension.
As they reviewed their work, the team was amazed by the consistency of their data. Similar patterns of movement, structure, and even emotions were documented in almost every session. Sensory information, tangible and intangible data, all described a unique and profound event. Using highly sophisticated techniques, the team identified key components from their sessions. After putting the pieces together, their previously unknown target was now obvious. PSI TECH's Special Operations Team had been using their remote viewing skills to answer a question that has been asked for centuries. What happens when a person dies?
Right before the person passes out of their body, 2 angels arrive, and it seems like they hang around for about 24 hours. And one is responsible for transporting one part of this human psyche, and the other angel is responsible for transporting another part. The closest we could get to interpreting what they were was mind and spirit. The one that is responsible for the mind, it looked more like memories. When we looked at what this one was carrying, it seemed like it was the memories of that person's life. And then the other thing that was being transported was a glowing thing, and it was more of like an essence, and so we labeled that the soul. Then they go off and go to another place and put these two pieces back together. And then when you remote view the person, they're, they are there. They are still themselves. They still have their same identity. It seems as though they're, still consciously themselves. They're just somewhere else with a different kind of body in a different world that we really just couldn't comprehend. They go off and go to another place. They are still themselves. They still have their same identity. It seems as though they're still consciously themselves. They're just somewhere else with a different kind of body in a different world that we really just couldn't comprehend.